something which is very easy to have fun with. Remember, I had shown you the CD, which comes in this thin plan box, and I did it from here. Yeah, right. This is enough for what I want. My CD, the thin client. You open it up. There's something small like this. Then you have to start it in your DVD or your computer, be it a laptop or a desktop. They also have DVD, but in case they don't have, just like my computer here, it doesn't have a CD-ROM or DVD-ROM. So I had to copy my CD to the flash, and then from the flash to the computer. So at the moment I have it right here on my desktop. If you can follow my mouse, it's right here at the folder. So when I open it, you'll be able to see some files. There are actually files of them, but they have the main which I want is the FL100, FL120. There are other new models of FL200, FL300, FL500, and FL600. But this main which I purchased, or which we are working on right now, is the FL120. So I open it. Then there are 3 folders. There's the user manual, and then the README file. There is the manager software, open multi-user connections, and then RDP accelerator. So I'm going to, the software is within the manager software, which is called the Share Terminal Management Install. So you double click on it, or you right click on it and then click open, or you double click on it. Whichever method you use will be able to work out. So you just have to go next. The installation directory is in C, program files, go next. Then it gives you the GUI, the select component, you go next. Then the shortcuts menu, it will also be showing you, go next. Then it will ask you if you're ready to install, and then you install. The installation takes a very few minutes, in about less than 2 minutes. It's done actually, within just a minute you are done, just like that. Within seconds I'm done. So just click on finish. Now when you finish, you go to your software, which is right here, the terminal management. Double click on it, it will open up, requesting for authentication, talking about the login with your password. But when you buy this thin client, when it is brand new, it comes with no password. Just click on login, and then it will load the terminal. So this is the terminal, whereby it is showing you the user, the current user, who is yours, Aine, and that's just my PC. So the next thing is to configure the network. You need to know that we are using a switch, and the installation we are working on today, we are working with one server computer, which is my own laptop that I've been using for my day-to-day purposes, and then I'm having 3 monitors which we shall be using as the client monitors. So my laptop is the server, while the other monitors are the clients. So the first thing to do is create users, because every monitor user will have an independent username. So I can right click here, and then I click on create user. Then I give the account name. Maybe I can say user 1, and password, you also put it there, password of your choice. Confirm. You realize that another user has been created. Right click and then create another user, maybe like user 2. Then user 2, then also password you also give. You confirm. Another created user gets created. Right click, create user. So basically I'll follow the same procedures. This is user 3. You also give password. It is always recommended to use password because for security purposes. However, you can still create bulk users by coming here and create user. Then there is here a create multi-user. There is an option of create multi-user. Say for example, if you have around like 50 or 70 computers which are connected onto your server, then it's easier for you to create multi-user, and then to create for you all those very many users, and then just have to confirm. So the operation has failed because I've not given it any instructions, but later we shall. So we have our 4 users. Remember, this is my server, and then the 3 users. Now you need to recall that thin client or any computing uses what you call the RDP protocol, remote desktop protocol. That's a setting which is in networks, which we have to configure, and you have to get it from my computer or this PC. By the way, I need to inform you that this version of thin client that works on any version of Windows. Even on Linux, it still works there. So whether you have your Linux, you can still work with it. Whether you have your Windows, you can still work with it. Right now I'm using Windows 10, so you right click on this PC. But if you have Windows 7, then you have to right click on my computer. Click on this PC, then click on properties. So when you click on properties, you go to what you call remote settings. So under remote settings, it will open up with a pop-up, and you have to allow remote connections to this computer. If you find that now under remote desktop, my current selected options don't allow remote connections, but in the case of this, you have to allow remote connections, because we want to have users connect to this computer remotely, basically to connect to my laptop remotely. So you allow connections, then you come and select users. So when you select users, click on add, then click on advanced, then click on find now. I hope you're following me. Then you scroll down and look for the users which you have created from the share terminal. That was user 1, user 2, and user 3. So you select all the 3 users, and then you click OK. Then they be added there. Click OK, and then you see they are here. They have permissions. OK, and then apply, and then OK. Now you can close now this. Now that part is done. The next part to do is to configure network. Yes, we have created users so that all the 3 client monitors are able to connect. But in this case, if we don't give them IP addresses, then they will not be able to connect. If you have a router on your network which is giving DHCP, it will be wise that you don't give network to your computers. You let it pick the IP address dynamically. But if you don't have a router, then it's advisable that you use static IP addresses. So like on my network currently, I don't have a router, thus I will have to assign IP addresses manually. So first is on my computer, I right click on network icon, but in case if you don't have, you go to control panel, then you go to network and internet, then under network and internet you go to view network and sharing center. Then under network and sharing center you click on the one of Ethernet. If you have Windows 7, it will show you a local area connection, but if you have Windows 8, 8.1 or 10, it will show you Ethernet, the connection type. Click on it, go to properties, then you look for TCP IP version 4. Click on it and then select properties, and then give it instead of use the following IP address, and then you input your IP address, the one you want. So in this case I can use 192.168.10.1. okay, can say .2. Then subnet must be automatically begotten. And in this scenario, when you're working with FL 120 or other versions of FL thin client, they require that you have to input also a default gateway. So a default gateway I can use 192.168.10.1. So the default gateway has to be fed as well on the client monitors, while the IP address will be changing. The DNS server, that one can choose to ignore, and then just click OK, then close, and then close. So that's under setting the IP address on the server. Now after finishing set the IP address on the server, we have now to go to the client monitors and we set the IP address there. So let me go switch to my client monitors, and then I take you through how to set those IP addresses there.